Hey, welcome back, Lighthouse Ministries. Today, guys, we have another video for you. This is a special one that's also close to our heart that God has been talking to us a lot about, and we know that this is one thing that He is very serious about. So today, as you see in the title, we're talking about do not worry, but we're going to take it a little bit farther today, okay? And give you a little bit of an explanation of why you shouldn't worry. So in Luke 12:22 is the verses that we're going to be basing this message off of, okay? So as Jesus was saying, do not worry about what you should eat, what you should wear, what you should, how you're going to provide for yourself. Jesus said, do not worry, because the Father already knows those things. He knows what you need, and He has already planned a way for you to get them. That's why you shouldn't worry. So pretty much we can just stop the video there, but we're just going to go a little bit insight and give you a little bit more of an explanation of why you shouldn't worry. So the first point that we want to make with you guys is that you shouldn't worry because God is in the little things. The littlest things that we will overlook every day, the littlest things that we just will not pay attention to, God have saw it in advance. So I'm going to give you a little bit of an explanation, okay? So a quick testimony of ours is so I have this wallet. If you're like me, I have a lot of junk credit cards, junk debit cards, all kind of stuff in my wallet. Sometimes I get a little agitated and I just want to throw all of it away because it's no longer serving me purpose anymore. So I went through my wallet at this point and I threw away a lot of old cards because it was no longer, like I said, it's just I didn't need them anymore. So once I threw them all away, I left a couple that I just kind of just overlooked at that moment. And about a year later, I was in this position where we was using Cash App, and our Cash App card actually ended up getting deleted. It got banned. So we was at this place where we was paying daily pay, but we needed a credit card to pay daily at that moment. So we was like, oh man, how are we going to pay? We don't have a debit card. We don't have a way to pay. Like, how do we put the money on a physical card to go and pay at that place? So as I'm looking around and we're just feeling doomed and we're worrying, we're stressing, like we can't pay where we're living at no more. How are we going to go to a store if we needed to go? Or, what are we going to do? And so the Holy Spirit, I believe, it just came to me and He just started speaking to us. And He just told me to check my wallet. So I went and I checked my wallet and I found this card that like I said, I didn't need it. I just kind of overlooked it. But some reason I didn't throw it away with the rest of them. So I ended up getting the card, right? So I got the credit card and I got the debit card. And as I'm thinking, I'm like, okay, I can transfer the money into this card and then I'll be able to continue to pay the room. So God was into the small things. See, if I would have thrown that card away like a year previous, I wouldn't have been able to use it now. So I didn't know at that time not to throw it away, but I just felt a need not to throw it away. I just felt like I should just keep it. I didn't really know why. I just kind of just kept it. So as I kind of just kept it and I just kept doing on and on and on and things, I ended up needing it. And I never knew that card would be the very thing that will handle the solution of whatever it was that I was worrying about in the first place. So that is why you shouldn't worry, because God is in the smallest little things that you probably would never think is God is already have a way out for you in that small area. Okay, so the next reason why you shouldn't worry, walking with Christ, is God have shown up in so many unexpected ways.
It's unexpected ways that God can bless you in the don't worry that we give you guys. Mm-hmm. It was so many times that God came in a way that was very unexpected that we thought. Sometimes we look at the big things when God is actually using the littlest thing that we can overlook, like He said before. So the testimony I want to give you is that we was living in this apartment and at the time God was giving us income, but it wasn't as much. He was like, we was trusting in God to provide the way to live there. Mm-hmm. So it came to a time where we was at our ends of diapers and food and we were just running out of everything. And then later that day, we actually got an unsuspected income from a job that I was working, but I wasn't working at that moment. It was like I quit it, or God told us not to go back because it was done with. It was over. But it came unsuspected because I didn't imagine getting a bonus from that job that I was not working for about a good month or two. And sometimes we are expecting other ways when God actually show up in the ways that we just never thought that would be possible for us. And that's how God works with his children, because we need to trust and believe that he will get it done, even though it's not the way that you think, but if the thing will get done.
So the unexpected ways are very important. We just really had to surrender how we thought or how we wanted God to do a certain thing. We always kept asking God, like, oh, how are you going to do this? How are you going to do that? How are you going to do this? And God is like, it's not going to come in a way that you expect it to come. So I just want you to trust me that I'm going to give it to you in the first place. The major key of this whole thing is just trusting God. He can do all kinds of things in your life. And the moment where you worry or you have fear is the moment when the enemy controls your mind. So it's best to just sit back and just say, you know, God got me. I'm going to let God carry me through this one. And I know that that's hard because we were just in a situation not too long ago where we had to really trust in God to get us through, and we had no way out. But y'all, once we kind of just synced our feet and we just like, you know what, we're not going to worry, we're not going to go nowhere, we're just going to sit back and wait for God's glory to be shown in our life. And eventually it showed up, and God definitely, you know, did his part with us. So one last thing that I wanted to talk about is the small obedience can lead to a major season where you don't have to worry in. Okay, so what I mean by that is, at one point, I know there's a lot of testimonies in this video, I'm sorry, but at one point God was telling us to get up and call the IRS. Okay, and because we was owed money for a long time, but we just didn't feel like going through it. At that time, I think it was pandemic. You couldn't get those people on the phone for nothing. We would sit on the phone for an hour and they would not come to the phone, so we just like gave up on it. But God was like, you know, we need to do that. So we got this pull. We got up and we called this place. And as we called the IRS and we're waiting, and the person came on the phone within like 3, maybe 4 minutes. And we was able to handle the situation. And after that, you know, they was like, okay, yeah, we're going to send this refund to you guys and things like that. But we had no clue when it was coming. We thought since this pandemic, it's going to take about probably like 4 to 6 months or something like that. Because I think she said around 3 to 4 months. So that very thing that God had us do that we thought was pointless at that time, it was like, it was kind of annoying sitting on the phone and all that, but that very thing, that little act of obedience, was the very thing that actually moved us to Dallas, Texas. So God is really into those important little details as well. So make sure that if God is asking you to do something small, if you don't do it, it could be the very reason why you're worrying today.